Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and children of all ages. My name is Mr. Evil Dragon. Joining me here today for JACKOCAR Kia Series. We're here at round 10 here at the beautiful Spa-Francorchamps circuit, which in about 16 seconds probably will be absolutely soaking wet because we're at Spa. Joining me this afternoon, it's not Vetro, it's not Red Matt, it's not Jamie the First, it's not Jamie the Second, it's not Jacko, it's our 6th commentator this season of 10 races. It is the one who was racing, but is in the commentary box. The much better place, retired racing drivers being in the comment box. Oh, do you know what I said about raining? It's raining. But guess who's here? It's Quinn. Hello, Quinn.
Hello. Good to be here. I think it's first time commentating here in Kia Series, so always exciting. And of course, as we predicted before this even started, it's wet.
It is wet, it is soggy, here today at Spa-Francorchamps, and potential memories of Spa 98 can flush back to the drivers, potential memories of 2008, potentially 07 I think it was, one of the two of them. Of course, since then, we had a very wet race last year, but well, if we call it a race, I mean, I suppose they did do a lap under the safety car. So, I mean, technically
classified as a half-distance race, even though it was only 2 laps behind the safety car.
Yeah, it was the greatest race of all time here today. And in terms, of course, of all our favourite things here in JACKOCAR, let's go through the standings. And the standings for our beautiful series here in Kia Series, it literally was in front of me, it's gone, it's back, it is Mr. Matt Rosmond leading 100 points so far from Jake in second, 92. Of course, behind them it is Sullivan on 77, fourth Hasselager on 76, then Victor Salza on 70, then it's 65 for Barry, 63 for Jess, who's been very much doing a solid job herself. Jack Ricketts, the man who got absolutely destroyed on golf 2 times in a row so far, he is down in 8th position, ahead of Leroy in 9th. Isaac in 10th, had a Cameron in 11th. And then, of course, behind them we have Matt Tree, Sullivan Lewis, Nils. And then, of course, we've got Mr. Nevitt, Mr. Goris, and Billy Watt on 3 points so far. So all to play for here today. And, of course, in terms of who's coming out first, that'll be in just a few minutes' time. But this season really ramping up as you come to the end.
Yeah, definitely. The overriding person who's really taken my eye is, I have to say, it's Speed Newgarden. His consistency over all of the races, it's compared to last season, this season has just been night and day. He's leading the championship for a reason. His race pace, his qualifying, everything's just been consistent. And although this championship is, you do get lucky a lot in this championship, but consistency does pay off.
Yeah, most certainly. I've been told, by the way, it's going to be a dry to wet race, so this is going to be spicy. So basically both of our predictions before this, we say it was going to be a wet race. It is a wet race, so everyone can pay us the money.
Yep. I'll leave my PayPal in the
description.
Comments. But yeah, it's going to be very, very interesting to see what direction people go with setups. Of course, it is completely, well, I'm surprised the track's not completely flooded, to be honest. But it's just so wet. It's a dry to wet race, so whether you risk it and go for a dry setup, depending on how long the dry period is, or you play it safe and go for wet setup and benefit in qualifying and in the wet period, but of course you'll be bogged down a bit in the dry period. So it'll be interesting to see what direction people go in the setup sense.
Yeah, we've got a few minutes to go. First car on circuit will be at 12:30. Carl Langston, of course, that is Car. He will be serving a qualifying bad nose, so he will be going an installation lap and then straight in the pit. Then if he doesn't, then he's going to be murdered by me, apparently. which would be entertaining. Of course, Carl Smith then joining up at 11:45, followed by 10:15 Michael Goris, and then of course because at 11 o'clock we have of course a advertising break because well there isn't an advertising break. We could have an advertising break. JACKOCAR needs advertising. To be fair, if the Kia series, I don't know. I guess cookies or something. I don't know. Give advertise for something. Some Yorkshire tea or I don't know what everyone's favourite drink brand is or food. Put it in the comment what everyone should what's the Kia series be sponsored by. Let us know and we'll potentially it'll be known by that next race. Kia series sponsored, I don't know, by some kind of chocolate or something.
Rich Energy
Kia series. There we go. Kia series sponsored by Rich Energy next week. This is it. But we are just waiting a few moments. And then the first car on circuit, we're just going through all of that. By the way, Zero Jokers here today at Spa. And like me and my good old buddy Mr. Quiddith were saying, it's a surprise because around here, very easy to do the one-stop. However, what I said as well before this to some people is it's risky because the weather, and it will always throw a spanner in the works. And, well, it's done that immediately, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you could technically still do a one-stop if it's dry to wet. You could technically still do it. You could do soft to winters, soft to wet, medium to winters. Depending on how long the dry period is, I still think a one-stop is doable. As we do see Kaya out on track, very snazzy free there by him.
Yeah, going for the
nice red,
Christmas
green, and
livery.
black.
Christmas liveries. He's ready for Christmas already. We're not even at Christmas time. He's already ready for it. It just shows he's just ready for it. He's running Sebastian Vettel's helmet. Oh, I said Sebastian's Velmet then, which is would have been interesting. But Sebastian Vettel's helmet-esque. Look, it's got a bit of blue, I think, instead of the black. So it's red, yellow, and blue instead of red, yellow, and black. Of course, he's on his outlap and will be coming straight in to the pit lane. Of course, next up behind will be a few others as well.
I think it's a bit interesting that 3 people currently have the Inters selected. Jacko, Jake, and Maki. All 3 of them have Inters selected, so maybe the rain is going to ease up a bit, or maybe they're just trying to throw us off.
Yeah, for a spanner in the proverbial works here today. As well, of course, we've got Kyle. He is on circuit. He is, of course, standing in for a test, I believe, if I'm not too mistaken, as well.
Yeah, of course, livery he's running is very much ART inspired. I do like it a lot. The white, purple, and black is a very good colour palette there, and the white background. It might get a little bit dirty in these conditions, but it looks very nice.
New Garden saying F weather right there as I go to Mr. Kyle Langston, and let's see, is he going to remember to peel into the pit lane? This is the key thing. Now what he's going to do is not go left. He thought about it. Now he goes left. That's a pit wall, Kyle. Oh dear. Okay, you meant to go left a bit more. There we go. Now into the pit lane. There we go. And in he comes. So he's done the first bit correct, which has got in the pit. However, he did also, not turn in enough. So, I mean, he wasn't meant to turn left, but he was meant to turn left a little bit at least.
Yeah. So, just looking at Kyle now, he's just going round and he's just getting to the bus stop chicane now. So, do you want to take us through his lap?
Yeah, I certainly will, as you come out of the old bus stop chicane, which isn't really a bus stop chicane, and up towards, of course, the first corner, La Source. And this one, very easy to snap a break, of course. Look on the left-hand side, of course, you can see where all the houses are. This used to be a street circuit back in the day, as you come, of course, out of La Source, and then, of course, run this up all the way down the hill on the pit lane exit down here on the right. That's where the GT exit is. As well up El Rouge you come in. These are pulling conditions. Very easy for the rear end one to step out, as you can see right there, as you head up over Radion, over the crest, and then down the Camel Straight. Little bit of a breathing zone right now as you then head towards the Com. Careful to hit the curb, of course. You don't want to hit it at all in these wet conditions. it will be very easy to snap around as you come through the exit and then into, I believe it's Malmondy, this right hand, who's then dip it down into Brussels. Now at the top end of the circuit, now all the way down. You come then through Brussels, long right hand, a third gear just to get the traction in, maybe up to fourth into this one in these wet conditions. You come in to X corner, or Speaker's corner as it is also known. Slightly changed now in 2022. It's been widened on the exit through P1. That looks pretty good for Mr. Carl through there as he now comes in to pit path as well. 50-metre board on the left, get it hooked in. Fourth gear keeps it through here, so might drift it down into third potentially as well. As through you come into Stavelot 1 and 2, and we believe he's going to invalidate his lap time at some point. So if he's going to, he'll do it through here potentially, or he'll do it down at Blanchimont. So here he goes then. This is also called a corner, but I keep forgetting what it's called, that one. But of course, this one where Blanchimont lies, and we presume we'll see Kyle cheekily go a little bit wide. No, he's not. So is he going to finish the lap off? Are we going to see him do some cheeky things at the last corner, or is he going to come in the pit lane, I wonder? Let's see as he comes.
He might heavily lift off.
And he doesn't. So 157.3. Now, if no one can beat that lap time,
yeah,
I'm interested. Now, I have noticed, by the way, Indecisive on an outlap. He's on the intermediate tyres. We also have Excite on the circuit as well. As Carl has retired, as he spun at turn 1, I reckon.
I don't think so. Maybe.
Dropped it. I mean, he could have dropped it on the exit turn 1. We haven't seen it, of course, but he has retired as Mr. Excite now on his lap time as well.
Yeah, he just needs to get this hooked up through P1. Got on the curb a little bit too much, so threw him off. There is yellow flags in sector 2. Not sure. Maybe that was someone coming out of the pits, but keeps sitting fourth, going all the way around. Very clean from him there. Stavelot 1. Wide entry. Trying to carry as much speed as he can. Another lift. But he's keeping the speed up. And we'll see how he does through sector 3. Mostly keep your foot down and pray through here in dry conditions. Possibly in the wet as well. Into the entry for the bus stop chicane. Maybe had a little bit too slow through there, just being cautious. Let's see what time, and it's slower than Kyle.
Yeah, Kyle
2 seconds slower.
Kyle there, he's gone into Kia Series for a one-off. He said he wasn't going to do a quick lap time, and well, he is so far the quickest man so far. So, I mean, to be fair, he won't be picking up any points, we believe. So, as well as, please don't tell me Indecisive crashed at turn 1, hasn't he? Yes, he has.
Yeah.
Now, Indecisive, who earlier on I was saying was going to be doing well before. I was speaking before everyone came on. I was saying I was praising him, he was doing well, and now he's crashed. So, well, never mind. Nils, meanwhile, he is on a lap. He is on the wet tyres, and he's going to be hoping for a good lap time. Now, the crucial thing here is not to invalidate at all, because invalidating around here is going to be a big, big issue.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. But let's hope that he can keep it all hooked together. Let's see if he lifts through this next left-hander. Does, about half throttle. Judging by people who've got into some, maybe the rain slows down a little bit, or maybe they're just risking it.
Yeah, trying to risk it.
Yeah, let's see what time Niels can do. It is a 1:58.6.
Still can't beat it. Next on a lap, we've got Camo Baba, who is invalidated. That would have been a 58.6 as well. So that would have been third position right there. Is a very sideways Jacko there. He's skating through the last corner, not doing very well in a straight line. I'm going to ride on board with Jacko. Whilst we also have King on the lap time, just to see if Jacko makes sort of El Rugin run piece, because oh, you can see, yeah, you can see where Indecisive's ending a wall. 2 tyres on the right hand side down there, so that is where he has come to rest. Meanwhile, Jacko up El Rouge, is it going to stick? Yes, it is going to stick up El Rouge. So I will now cut to Kingan who is in the middle sector. We've got Jessica getting out of the way as well in the background in her purple and yellow spiral livery, which I will continuously call every time because it's purple and yellow. Meanwhile, here is Kingan in the middle sector. Looks good. We've got Camo Babo, my apology. I think just Hedy's invalidated anyway, so he's not. We've got people going out the circuit. Everyone's kind of all in a big line right now, but is Kingan the first car to finish his lap time of this group?
Yeah, we're going to have to see, and I'm very intrigued to see how the Inters runners do. So after this, going to quickly hop on board with Jacko. But let's see what Kingan can do. Let's see how much he lifts off. Not as much. Not as much as Niels.
Yeah, he had to take a big snap out of Stavilo too, and that's what he could do through the bus stop. That looked a little bit sluggish there on the first. Does he get the second hooked up? No, he doesn't, is the answer to that one. Round she goes, and well, he's taking new lines through the bus stop chicane, and away he goes. Someone's just got it reset, it looks like, in the background, and here it goes. Getting across the line. It is P5, and then we'll jump out the way of Jess as well. Further down, we have Jacko. Now, what can he do? He needs to get the bus stop all nice and stop. He gets the first bit done, but does he get the second bit done? The answer to that is yes, he does. So, never mind, he doesn't. He loses the rear end, and across the line, he goes P3 then. So, it looks like the intermediate tyres are working a little bit. Like I say, like every time I say someone's doing well, they end up going off. Meanwhile, Leroy on the intermediate tyres as well. So, let's see what he can do as he comes through the exit of Piff Paff, and this time, very smooth on the throttle. No mistakes there from the man who's currently sitting 6th in the standings as he comes through the exit here into Stavilo 2. And again, looks all nice and smooth. Purple Sector 1, Purple Sector 2 from the Dutch driver.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see how Leroy does in this session and how he takes this final 2 corners. He was my pick for pole position, but being on the Inters in these conditions might be very tough for him. As, yeah,
there's another one.
Commentators cut. He's taken the Kingan line.
No one wants to do the bus stop. Meanwhile, we'll cut to Jess, who messages me and said she wasn't expecting anything. Now, every time she's messaged me saying she's not expecting anything, she does well. Last time I went and said something about this, she ended up, well, having a spin. So let's see if she can negotiate the tricky bus stop chicane, which has caught one mini driver out so far, and let's see what she can do. Spots the braking zone on the left, of course, as long as you get a lap time in, that's all that matters really around here. 40 seconds to go in qualifying. Jess peters it into the last corner. This one a lot more smoother on the throttle, no rear end snapping for her, and it's going to be P5. That's exactly what she needs to do. We have next got Mr. Yuri Solaga on a lap time as well.
Yeah, we're going to have to see what he does. Of course, his livery is inspired from ERT's own Arnaud, and I have to say I really do like this livery. The black, gold and red representing Belgium. So yeah, I really do like this livery, but we're going to have to see how he takes this bus stop chicane. It has caught out a lot of people. New Garden. Oh no. Not sure what's happened there, but New Garden, he isn't able to set a lap.
Yeah, he's come out either too late or
he has invalidated. So maybe he's gone for a spin.
Yeah, potentially. Meanwhile, here is Jake on a lap time. Purple Sector 2, Purple Sector 1, the man who sits second in the title. And let's see what Jake can do. Down to the brakes on the intermediate tyres. Can he displace Kyle? Can he do it? Through the chicane, gets it all hooked up. That looked very smooth indeed. Keep it to the run to the right. Can he get on pole? Yes, he can. 157.1. He does displace the car there of Cole. The only driver that can do it.
Yeah, it's very, very solid lap from Jake, and it looked like the rain was definitely letting up towards the end of the session, so the Inters were definitely the right choice, and, well, Jake's proven a point here.
Jake to Cup
Definitely.
Series, says Jacko in the chat there. So there we go. He's beaten a Cup Series driver. He's on the intermediate side. In comes Jessica into the pit lane. And gets it all hooked up on her marks. But that's a big shot, Claire, from Newgarden. Not a lap time here in qualifying.
Yeah, it was very unfortunate. Not too sure what happened to Newgarden there.
I have got the information, by the way. It was 2:45, but he read it as 2:15 and ran a lap time, which is a lot longer than 2:15 for an out lap. So he got caught out by that one, which is a real shame, as Jessica has retired and means we'll get ready to go in just a few moments' time here for the Belgian Grand Prix. First hosting a race back in the 1920s, one of the oldest established European circuits, currently still active. The only other circuits, the Nürburgring Nordschleife, which came around, of course, in the 1930s. Other circuits, of course, notable around this time, we had, of course, Monaco, of course, in the 1920s, as well, really the only other circuit, most famously as well, of course, Monza, other old circuits. A few others scattered around, of course, in the UK. The older circuit currently active, I think it is Donington Park, the oldest one. Of course, Brooklands used to be there, with the old oval going around as well. Most famously known because James May went there and did some Skate Electric stuff here around a car park and through something that reminds of Boney called Sony back then. So, 3 seconds to go. 13 drivers. Hopefully, a very interesting race.
Yeah, it should be very interesting. With it being dry to wet conditions, it all really hangs on when the rain will come.
And good to see Matter in the chat as well, saying Team Speed in the chat. Speed is in full force here today. It's Quinn sent his army here, I'm sensing, has he? Have you sent your army here?
I've got nothing.
You got nothing?
I've got nothing to do with that. Nothing to do with that.
Taking bribes.
It'll be interesting to see what tyres everyone chooses to start on. Because of course, well, in real life this season, Q2 means nothing.
Indeed, Matt is saying Quinn's bribed. What does Quinn have to say in defence here to this accusation? It is silence, but the sounds of it. But like I said, Quinn, it's going to be an interesting race. We presume a lot of people on the medium tyres, medium to soft, ideally, potentially strategy, if we are going to get rain later on, of course, medium, soft. Remember, a 2-stop mandatory here in JACKOCAR. So, a long race ahead of us with what is 22 grueling laps. 7 for the soft tyres, ideally, of course, the mediums can do around about 14 to 12, and of course, another 7 potentially for the soft. So, of course, it's going to be that one, so presumably, it's going to be interesting here today. And in terms of the tyres, I'm presuming a lot of them, apart from 2 on the soft. That is Jake and Indecisive, and that is showing a gamble here for some rain later on.
Yeah, definitely. Sorry about earlier, I was just busy. My mum came in and talked to me, but yeah. I'd like to think if the rain comes a bit later on, maybe you could, for the soft runners, you can pit on lap 1, put on a set of mediums, and then just go until the rain comes.
Yeah, certainly. It's going to be interesting to see what will happen here today, here in Kia Series. It's Jake, his first ever pole position this season. His first pole, I think, ever, actually, as well. I don't remember him being on pole for a long time. Following by, of course, the ART of Kyle, of course, which reminds me of a BMW livery from the 2000s. Then comes Mr. Goldilocks there in 3rd position of Yuri Hasselager from Niels, who is in 4th. Jacko, 5th position so far in his blue and white. Not repping an orange livery, which is surprising for Jacko. I'd imagine Jacko, the owner of JACKOCAR, would run in Jacko colours, but he doesn't. So
yeah, you'd think he would.
Shame on him. Then comes Excite, who I will say is running a livery, which I like, by the way. Very similar to the livery I run normally on this game, though it's slightly different colour. He's got more silver and got a bit of pinky purple, whilst I run more of a Toyota scheme with the red and pure yellow as well. So it's a very lovely livery, I will say. Following up by the lovely Jess, who's currently in 7th. And then comes King of the Technicolor Dreamcoat in 8th. Hasselager in 9th. Kamababo in 10th. Kaya ahead of Indecisive, who has been practicing a lot more these last couple of days to try and see what he could do in terms of his pace. He's been really trying to get used to the game. He's getting more used to the cars. Let's see what he can do. He's hoping just to finish this afternoon. A lot of smoke I can see up the road. Newgarden without a lap time on his chrome blue livery, might I say. But Jake, up front, what do you reckon he can do today?
I think Jake has gone for a risky strategy here, starting on the mediums. Usually if it's a drive to work race, especially in JACKOCAR, you'd want to start on the softs, get an early pit stop out of the way, but maybe he's accounting for that. Maybe he's accounting for there being an early safety car.
Indeed. Newgarden, last car on the grid. Up front, Jake. 3, 4, 5 red lights here in Belgium. Look, but never stare, because the Belgian Grand Prix is away. And it looks like that Jake getting a bit of a wobble on the start. Here is Kyle to snatch the lead in towards turn number 1. And Kyle leads into turn number 1 straight away. Then is everyone getting through into the source okay? It looks like it seems everyone has got away. Perfectly okay. But it's Kyle from Yuri. Then comes Jake. A little bit of bobbling at the back as Newgarden makes a few positions up. Up our route they come for the first time. Kyle leads from Yuri, Jake, Niels. Jacko there is excited. Hasselager, Kamababa, King and Jess. Then comes Newgarden, Indecisive and Carl. Is there Niels getting down the positions, a few there. As here comes Jacko to try and take that position on the outside there, on the inside there. Potential contact there with Hasselager and Excite there holding the line. Jacko trying to fight back on the inside line as they come down into Brussels for the first time. Excite swabbling away as well as Jacko back to the inside line. And let's see if you get this car stopped as they come into X corner. Yes, he does them. So Jacko back on the second. They're battling away. Is Nils and Leroy trying to go up the inside down in to what is a very tricky corner of Puon. Can't quite do it right there. He's going right up the rear end. Is he going to try around the outside? Down in towards Fania then for the first time this afternoon. That'll be brave stuff on the first lap. And indeed he does a bit of contact there as well. I saw a bit of front ring debris potentially getting flicked up as going wide. Kamababa gets it on the island as well. And Niels, instead of gaining a position, loses 2.
Yeah, it's very, very, very good start there from Carl. Already filling out a second gap to Yuri. But it is closing. It is getting close to that 1 second mark. Of course, DRS is enabled at the start of lap 3. Kyle pits, Yuri pits, everyone's pitting. Jake is still out.
Yeah, Jake staying out on those medium tyres. These guys getting the first stops all done straight away. That's a good strategy call for them. Don't want to get themselves caught out in the safety car. Remember, because very easy for these tyres just to start to go off around about lap 5 to 7. Ideally, safety car window extremely high here. And it's because of this corner right here, El Rouge and Radion. So many good drivers have had a mistake up here. Talking of overtakes and talking of mistakes, Jacko, a bit of a mistake down there as here comes Mr. Kamababo. And there is Kamababo slotting himself in the second position, or is it? As on the curb, and that is, you know what I mentioned earlier on about going on the curbs? And there he goes, careful rejoining as there comes Kyo through, and that is the first mistake of this afternoon there. But Kamababa wants to be careful because the rear tyres will be worn, and he keeps it all on the circuit. But like we said, that these curbs around here, very, very aggressive, aren't they?
Yeah, very. You have to be very, very careful getting on the curbs here, especially on the inside curb at Puon. It is so easy to spin it, even if you just graze that curb. Especially in the wet, you do not want to be touching any of the curbs. But yeah, 2 second gap out ahead for Jake, and he's on the medium tyre as Jacko goes very wide through Stavelo 2. So yeah, it could have compromised his top speed, of course, here. The exit of, well, Stavelo 1 is the most important corner on this circuit, really, as Kamababo makes up another position, getting past Kaya, but Jacko doing everything to close up the gap and to keep Kingen at arm's length as Excite comes in, Jess comes in. We'll have to see if Camo comes in. He does, and Kaya. So there's only 4 people now who have not pitted. It is Jake, Jacko, Kingen, and Indecisive. So very interesting to see what strategy those come up with.
Now, talking of Kingen here, with the help of some DRS pulls to the inside there, and will take that second position from Jacko. Now, Jacko's been very brave on the brakes around here, but can't quite lunge run on the brakes so far. Of course, as this race goes on, more like up a safety car, as we see where everyone is slotted out, and it seems everyone all in position. Newgarden ahead of Jess, ahead of Niels, Kamababo, Kaya at the back as well. All these drivers, I believe, are on the medium tyres, unsurprisingly, and they'll be going onwards for a long time right now. And then, of course, potentially another set of mediums, if not a set of softs, later on indeed. Only driver, by the way, on a set of soft tyres, that is Kyle. Now, of course, Kyle here is just going to be trying to keep himself out of all harm's way, just trying to get himself in cleanette. So this is actually a pretty good strategy for him, isn't it? Go on a set of soft tyres, just not get involved in any battles here, because everyone around him on the mediums, him on the soft, this is just kind of help him, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's interesting to see what strategy he is doing, just purely because he started on softs, pitted on lap 1, and there's yellows. I think that is Niels.
As he hit the wall,
Niels had a little bit of a spin, and now sitting in plumb last. I have to see if there is any damage. I don't think. No, there isn't any visual damage. They might have a light green front wing. Kaya's already got his ERS light flashing. Kaya's squeezed Niels to the
look here at ART Kyle going up the inside into rail rouge. That was brave up the inside there at the bottom of the crest. And well, he said he was going to take it gentle. That certainly was not being gentle. What a beautiful little move from Kyle, taking Indecisive at the opportune time right there. And well, I mean, that very risky, paid off. Fair play to Indecisive for giving him some room there.
Yeah, very, very fair play to Indecisive there. I would have liked to seen him put up a bit more of a fight, but of course, Kyle being on the softs, having 2 lap fresher tyres than Indecisive, it was pretty much a given that Kyle would have got past him. But did not expect it to be there. You rarely see moves there.
Indeed. Meanwhile, a bit wide there from Kingen, who almost put it in the pit. Well, not in the pit, well, in where the house is, which I will still call Grandma's house, because that is a reference from Project Cars 2, which someone made a joke of, and I had a big crash on the historic Spa into that house backwards, and I flipped it into the house, and apparently I got cookies that day. These guys staying up alongside on these soft tyres, and they're trying to put us up to Jake here, and Jake's starting to come under a little bit of pressure. DRS, of course, is activated. Of course, that was activated a few laps ago, and slowly reeling them in here is Kingen. Kyle, 145.9. He is flying here in Belgium. Here comes Kingen, though, to try and take the lead of this race. And let's see what's Jake going to do about this one. He'll go to the middle. Not going to put up too much of a fight, though, because it's a little bit of diminishing returns, as there goes Mr. Kingen into the lead here of Belgium. Jacko, by the way, who did win a few weeks ago here. He took his first 50% race here in one hub just a few weeks ago. Well, he's finished a few races since then, but has had rotten luck since. Every time I commentate, I don't know if he's had bad luck. So far, running in 3rd position. So, is this a good omen for Jacko, this track, you wonder?
It could definitely be a good omen, as we see Camo getting past Jess at the end of the Camel Straight. A very good move for him, and it sees him move up into P10. but looking at the pit stops so far, everyone apart from Jake King and Jacko and Mackie have made a stop, and Kai has made 2 stops already. As you can see, he is on the hard
tyre. And Jacko! Oh no! Oh, Jacko, and you know what I said about it being good omens? He's down, he's dropped the car, and oh, not again. What more can he do? When I commentate on him, front wings damaged, and again the curse continues.
Yeah, front wing. I didn't actually catch what happened there, but it's got to be so disappointing for him. Yeah, front wing damage is going to add more time to a pit stop, which would have already put him quite far down in the order.
Yeah,
but
indeed.
yeah, maybe it's a blessing. Maybe it would have been just about the right time to pit for him.
Indeed he does. So he comes in, that new nose medium tyres will go on. Jacko, who's unfortunately been cursed very truly by me there, by me saying is this a good omen, and well, within a lap he's in the wall, so maybe it's not a good omen. Talking of omens, here comes Yuri, and this is an omen for 4th position then, to the outside line, and it's going to be 1 position. Following suit, here is going to be his brother, Mr. Leroy, to take that other position as well. So, it is the Hasselagers 4th and 5th. It is Mackie now in 6th position. So far, keeping the car on the road as well. Behind next sight, Newgard and Camo. Then, here is Jacko immediately on the move. Then, passing Niels and Jacko, who's going to be running a little bit hot under the collar, though. Doesn't need to try and drop it again, which will be most certainly unfortunate.
Yeah, just tracking the positions gained from everyone. Newgard has done a very good job of gaining 5 positions. Mackie's gained 4 positions. Kingan has gained 7, although Mackie and Kingan have still yet to pit. And we see Jacko has lost 6 and Niels has lost 8.
In comes Kingan.
Biggest winner, I'd have to say, has to be Newgarden for me, because when you've got a lot of other people pitting ahead of you, you're going to be climbing up a little bit. You might find himself in the top 10 once everyone's made their stops. Of course, he's still got 1 more to make. Kingan makes his first stop, so now only Jake and Mackie to make their first stops. Let's see where Kingan will.
It's going to be close here at the pits, isn't it? Between both the Hasselager brothers. He's going to slide in right between. Ooh. And Yuri has to back up. And is this the opportunity, potentially? As they're waiting for the ARS there up the top there. There goes. Oh no, they hit! They hit at the top of our road. And Kingan round as he hit the wall. He gets it stopped just in time. Oh no, don't do this, sunshine. Back, back, back. Now, right hand down. Away you go. And watch out for Jess coming up the top of the hill as well, as indeed she gets through okay, but contact there is here. The Hasselager brothers do battle then here in Belgium. Yuri to the inside. This is going to be a brave move there. And those two just playing with each other was Yuri. Backed off, though. He backed off to try and get the DRS of Kingan. Kingan then had to take a very shallow line. Couldn't get out of it because they were going slow and they just ran into each other. So the stewards might well take a look at that one, because it was a little bit of sportsman game there, a little bit of tactical play, though tactical play at El Rouge's not really the ideal situation, is it?
No, through that corner is very much single file, as we saw from Kyle. An overtake can be done there as Yuri picks up 3-second time penalty. And that is Camo.
Camo Babbo off the road, and he's dropped it on the curb as well. He's got on the inside curb, it's swung him round, and he'll drop down behind. Now he can get himself back going again, down into 12th position this afternoon, as in comes Jake, and unsurprisingly he is in now because he wants to get a nice fresh set of tyres on as well. So in he comes, a set of softs, and he'll go softer. He's going for another set of medium tyres then, presumably later on. In comes Indecisive as well, of course. Indecisive, Jake and Jess all party. I know that because I normally used to party with them last season. So I know they all party as well. Up front though, here is the Hasselager brothers. Behind them, Jake not too far behind. And let's see, Leroy on Yuri. These two have been sparring away so far this season. They haven't come a cropper yet. But with a bit of DRS with the outside line. Let's see. To the outside line, has he got it stopped? Yes, they rub. They do rub this time, and these two have got no love between them. The brothers ran the outside, and there, a very lovely move there from Leroy. And now into second position, but he goes a bit deep. And now this is all going to allow potentially Yuri to come through behind, and Jake lurking in the shadows, lurking behind. And right now, if I was Jake, I would just be taking it a little bit cautiously right now. Don't try and get Yuri unless you get a good opportunity like this one.
Does.
But it'll be brave to go around the outside into Fanya.
Yeah, very, very good from Jake just to keep his cool, not go for the dive bomb. But yeah, he's just got to wait, because when Leroy and Yuri come together, it's just going to be... when they're fighting like they just did, they're going to hold each other up so much and potentially allow Jake to make a double overtake.
Yeah, Yuri as well. He's saving a lot of his ERS right now as he's just covering off his... Look here, Jake, trying to go around the outside in the bottom, the inside to the second bit. They get so close there. Both with DRS, both going to spur it down the straight. But he'll have DRS, he'll have the slipstream of his brother. And... well, Leroy not helping Yuri an absolute bit there, because he just gave the slipstream to his fellow comrade. And now it's going to be the run up towards the com. And now looking behind Yuri, who's just sitting there going, what have you done, my brother? But he's going to come back there with DRS. They're going to go either side of him. It's going to be like Zontanelli. Let's see, he was forced. Leroy not helping his brother to the inside. Here comes Yuri, laying on the brakes. Can't do it, as his brother really are not helping him at all here.
Yeah, it doesn't really help that he's low on ERS as well.
And
as
look,
Leroy looks. There was a gap there, the side by side, but Yuri just stays ahead. He's going to have a bit more turning angle to do there, but he stays ahead. And look at the gap.
He's letting him through.
He's actually letting through.
Has there been some confrontation? Has Leroy gone and beaten his brother there, as on the curb, getting a bit of a twitch there, as they decided now's the time not to battle right now, because they're really not holding each other up. They're very much holding each other up. Up front, meanwhile, done their first stop. There is Kyle, well certainly on his way. He'll be stopping in the next 3 laps by at least lap 12. Well, I say that, he comes in now, actually, as when he does decide to come in, so never mind what I say, as in he comes. As well, that'll be for a second stop. This will be a set of medium size, 12 laps to the end of this race. That very much manageable.
Yeah, it's definitely manageable, but if the rain comes in time for it to have an effect on the track, it's going to be a free stop for him. Whereas if these guys out on track now can manage to stretch the tyres all the way, it's going to be a 2-stop. So Kyle effectively putting himself out of the race, but of course he will be
He's not too far
retiring in the pits on the penultimate lap.
He's not too far back though. Meanwhile, here is Yuri and Leroy, as Leroy to the inside, back out of it. He doesn't want to fight him now. So all of a sudden the brotherly love seems to be slightly back, as these two don't want to battle each other, as both of them almost decide to stack it in the wall at the same time. Talking of battles and stuff, we've got a bit of a gesturing right now, haven't we? 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th and 12th. Though I say that, it's not really a train too much, as oh dear, nails in the wall, as there is trouble. And is that going to be the first safety car deployed? So now that is going to bring a thing, and Kaya, he's going to be very lucky there, because he's just ahead of where the safety car came out there, isn't he?
Yeah. So there's only 2 people who have made both of their stops so far. That is Kaya and Kyle. So anyone who makes their stops now will be classed as non-mandatory.
Yeah, you know.
Interesting to see that Kaya hasn't actually set his ERS to low, or maybe he's just done that now.
He's burning it still.
He's burning it. What are you doing, Kaya? Save up the ERS.
Now, well, mate, we'll figure it out. Jake, look, here he comes. Now, what you don't want to do here is pass the safety car. You want to slow down because that safety car, very easy to get caught up. Oh, look there, as I say. They all come flying in here because how slow it is coming up our route. I've seen many an accident up here before in my time. As in comes Jess, in comes Jacko for non-mandatory stops. Now, this, both for a set of soft tyres, I believe. This new, in comes Nils, you can note it down. Now, I'm presuming here, they're gambling on some wet weather.
Yeah, it would be, it would be very clever to do it this way, because if you've already made one
Jacko just hit the pit exit wall. Did he that? He got so close if he didn't hit it. But,
doesn't look like he's got any damage.
That's interesting. Now, I don't know if they did have damage. So they have just gone for a new set of medium tyres, both of course non-mandatory, so that is marked down on them. Look at the sky, there, Quinn, it's definitely darkening. Now,
yeah, definitely.
This could be A, a very good strategy, or B, a not very good strategy, and they'll have to stop again. But why not? Why not take the risk right now? These two are kind of down here anyway. They were a little bit out of the fight. Why not get a new set of tyres on? Like you see, Kaya's done. Though a set of soft tyres, I'm afraid, Kaya might not go the next 10 laps. But we shall see.
Yeah, might end up really ruining Kaya's race. But you have to like think with the people who've only made one stop. It might have been a good strategy if you're on the mediums, just to pit for a new set. If you're on the mediums, they're like 7 or 8 laps old. It might have been useful just to pit, take a non-mandatory stop, and then if it starts raining, in maybe say 5 or 6 laps, you won't be on like 10, 11, 12 lap old tyres. You'll only be on 5 lap old tyres.
Yeah, indeed. In comes Leroy. In comes Excite. In comes. They're all in. They're all in. They've all gone for the gamble, and this is really going to help the likes of Jess, Jacko, as well. Look, these guys are going to jump so many positions here.
Yeah, they've all listened to me.
They have. They've all listened to you, Quinn. They've seen this before. These drivers do this. Now, let's see what tyres they're going on. That is soft. Now that's very much a statement that it's going to rain.
Yeah, definitely is.
But
that's an indication that it's going to rain. But will it be hard enough?
Oh, Jake, there, look at that. Oh, that's laggy. Right there. And hopefully that's not an issue.
Will the rain be hard enough or strong enough to affect the track? There's definitely questions that need to be answered here, but look at Kyle. He's in 12th.
Yeah, he's in 12th. He said that soft tyres. He did stop not too recently as well. He's gone for another set of softs. Of course, now what we know is he was going to drop to the back anyway.
Yeah.
That's what his gamble was. Of course, he's got Kai behind, but I mean, unfortunately to Kai, he's at the back anyway, so I mean... I don't mean it that way, but he is generally at the back currently in this race. He was nearly a lap down, so he's done a good job getting himself back on the lead lap. So he's still got a long race to go. Doesn't need to make a mistake, though. I'd say Carl probably doesn't need to give that one up, but he could, because of course, remember, Kai, he has only just jumped in. I think he is now just a full-time Kia driver. No, he's making his debut today.
We're gonna have to see what happens with this race now, because there's still a few people who have yet to make second mandatory stop. In fact, there's still only 2 people who have made all of their mandatory stops. it's only Kyle and Kaya who have made their mandatory 2 stops. All the other ones, Yuri, Leroy, Newgarden, Excite, Jess, Niels, Kaya and Jacko have all made a non-mandatory stop.
Yeah, of course Kyle has done a non-mandatory stop, yes, but he is safe to go to the end of this race, though it's going to be risky, though of course that is indicating wet weather coming in the next couple of minutes. We cut to the man leading this field as he comes then out of the bustle. Don't forget, you've all got to go as late as possible, pretty much the 4th last grid slot before the start finish line, of course, which is in just a few moments time, and then it's all about the preempting then as away they go then here in Belgium under the conditions that look like a very decent start this time around from Jake, as there you can see Yuri a little bit wide. This might allow potentially King to come through, who backs out of it as they now play the interstellar game of chicken up towards our roads then. Here again, has everyone got themselves up the top of our roads okay? Yes, they do. Here comes Yuri then to the inside, and he'll snap the lead then here in Belgium as he gets past Jake, but Jake's gonna fight it. Back they come, down towards the brakes. Who's got it? It is gonna be Yuri who gets it from Jake. Further down the field, we've got indecisive. Jess has dropped down a heap of positions right there, down into 9th position, as getting absolutely swamped nearly by Kyle and Newgarden, who get awfully close with touching each other. King with a 3-second time penalty, just a little bit wide right there, and is just carrying on her merry way. Kaya up a few positions, Niels down a few as well as through they come into Piron. Everyone, though, keeping themselves roughly on the road.
Yeah, just on that restart, Newgarden bogged down a little bit. I believe he was up around 7th or 8th position, and now he's down in 11th. Oh, Jess gives him a little bit of a squeeze on the entry for Stavilo 1. But being on the soft tyres, he will be looking to get past Jess. Full throttle. Got the slipstream and the ERS. Contact between the two. Wide goes Newgarden, and that's a 3-second time penalty, but he gets it done, and Yuri's in the pits and Camo's in.
Yeah, this is for their stop, mandatory stop, and I mean, we're going to be seeing people potentially coming in as well. That surely indicates that Yuri thinks it's not going to rain. Yuri must think it's not going to rain then. Kamababo and Nils in as well. This is very interesting. I don't know who's on what strategy right now. It could be raining. I tell you what, who's on a chance. It's Kingan. We've got Leroy, who's got to stop again. We've got, well, everyone's got to stop again apart from Carl, who's now in 5th. Kaya, who's in 10th. But with rain in the air potentially, and a battle here for 2nd with an ounce of steam on the exit. Here is Leroy, but still can't quite do it. Low, is he going to take a lunge? He is. He's going to end in contact. He has to get out of it. That's very naughty indeed. I'd say that's a little bit borderline, a bit too naughty, because he got himself a penalty as well for good measure.
Yeah, and that's opened the door now for Excite, being only 1.5, 2 tenths behind Kingan. Although through Puan it didn't have the best line, but that move from Leroy has opened up the door, and now Kingan, he might be under attack from Excite and Kyle behind him.
Indeed, further down the field, meanwhile, we've got Indecisive battling away with Jacko. Indecisive doing a very good race so far, of course. He has yet to stop on those medium tyres. He's going to have Jacko going past. Which way is he going to go? The inside line will present itself then for the Englishman to pass the Englishman. Newgarden following swiftly suit as well. Though saying that, it was Indecisive going to take a bit of a pot shot to the outside, to the inside. I can't quite do it there, but this is looking a bit more of a controlled race lane from Indecisive so far, isn't it? He's been struggling, but this is looking a bit better.
Yeah, definitely. We're seeing a big DRS train forming in the top 5 now. We've got Jake leading, Leroy leading, Kingan, Excite, and Kyle. Yes. But I'm just on board with Newgarden now. He's getting very close to the back of Mackie, and Leroy gets past Jake now, going through the Kemmel straight. Still going to stick on board with Newgarden. He goes for the outside line, and he just breezes past Mackie. So P7 now for Newgarden, and Jake has pulled out a gap from Kingen, and now Kyle has made a move on Excite. So yeah, we've got two mini little trains forming at the front now. We've got another train behind Jacko as well. So these guys at the end of the trains are going to find it very difficult to get past unless there's a mistake from the people ahead.
Yeah, it certainly is. I mean, we have still got potential of safety cars, potential of issues later on, but look at the skiers. Oh, Leroy, big mistake is across the gravel, and this is all the opportunity that Jake is looking for, but can't quite do it. Leroy there, good defending, Neil's off the circuit as well in the background. As trouble then hits the field, Leroy, a critical mistake. And now is the opportunity that Jake is looking for. Let's see, he's going to not burn his ERS, he's going to wait. For the time being, following swiftly behind Keegan, not too far as well, but a small but critical mistake there from the man who is now leading this race, Leroy, as in comes Jake into the pit lane. Now, this surely is just indicating it's not going to rain.
Yeah, possibly. There's still 7 people who need to make their second stop here. So hopefully they'll be doing that in either this lap or the next lap.
Here comes
but yeah,
Kyle.
we've still got Leroy, Newgarden, Excite, Jess, King and Jacko and Mackie still to make their second stop. But Kyle, as you were saying, got moved on Kingen. Excite goes for a move down the inside and he gets it done. Excite is just following the path created by Kyle. He's benefited from that move, both being on 3-lap-old softs, and Kingen, well, he was a sitting duck there on 8-lap-old mediums.
Now I'm wondering here, is Kai, gets a bit forceful. I think Kai's got an ERS glitch here, do you reckon? That ERS is not going off.
Yeah. Well, maybe he's just forgotten that it's on?
I mean, it's possible. I doubt it. You're with a 3-second time penalty, but Kai, although he's done his first stop, he's still got people to the outside. If we got a safety car, by the way. Oh, never mind! Oh, well, they're talking of a safety car! We might get one there! We might get one there! And we do get one there! And, well, I was about to say because Kai could be in a good position, but Kai was the one that causes it! Well! Oh dear! Oh,
this
no.
is very, very bad news for the people who have only made one stop.
But remember, this is all going to bring the potential of rain to Interlet, and they're all going to stop surely for a set of soft tyres now, aren't they?
Yeah, I think most people will come in, but if you're the likes of Newgarden, I wouldn't risk it. He's not.
Jacko doesn't.
So Excite still has to make another stop. Leroy still has to make another stop.
What a topsy-turvy afternoon here in Belgium.
So Leroy. Jess has pitted. Camo has pitted. Niels is still going round. Not sure if I've missed anyone. No, there's still 7 people who still need to pit, so that's going to be very interesting to see what they can do. Mackie's only made one stop.
Yes.
He hasn't done any non-mandatory stops, he's just made one stop. So that's interesting to see. There's people as high as 4 stops here. We've got Kyle and Kaya on 4 stops.
Indeed, Kyron, we believe, potentially has some floor damage. Has well had in contact there with Camo Babu. Couldn't do anything there. The spinning car right in front of him. And I mean, this is all just going to play into the potential of rain. So there's that one, because I mean, it's getting darker and darker and darker.
I think it may start raining in the last couple laps, but whether it will be enough to affect the grip levels of the track. Of course, the soft tyre is actually the better of the dry tyres to be on wet conditions if you want to risk it. But it's definitely... I'm not sure how it's going to play out here. I'm really not sure.
All it does mean is Newgarden now leads this race. He's done 2 stops, though we believe one of them is a non-mandatory. Jacko, well, I'm pretty certain we know those that have got the stops enough to say. Kyle has done mandatory. Jake has done mandatory. So he can go to the end, I believe. This is very confusing right now. Safety car stays out 1 more lap then. Here in Belgium. And look at the sky. Now, look how dark it's got, Quinn. And this foretelling a tale of water, potentially.
It's definitely possible. Yuri pits. So he's already done his 2 mandatory. Let's see
So
what tyres he goes on to.
Intermediates.
He's made the call early. He's made it very, very early, but of course it's a long lap. It's a very, very long lap here, so by the time they get to the end, it might already be into conditions.
Well, he needs it to rain right now, pretty much. If he wants it, he needs it to rain now, and for it to come down heavily, because otherwise these tyres are going to be getting very worn.
Very hot. Yeah.
That is actually a very bold strategy, Quinn. Bet if it pays off.
It's very bold, but in a league like JACKOCAR, you have to be bold, you have to take risks. Sometimes you can leave it to luck, but that luck isn't always reliable. You've got to be bold, and you've got to give Yuri props if it works out for him, and if it doesn't, well, it's just a risk taken too far.
Indeed, and was that a bit of rain I saw? Or was that just a little bit of graphics? It's a bit of graphics, but it definitely is dark out here in Belgium. It's definitely rain on the horizon. Safety car will be in this lap anyway. I can't stay out anymore. We won't get another one, so... what do you do right now? This is all about risk versus reward. Everyone's going to be diving in the pit lane. They're all waiting for a safety car. Well, they're all waiting for the rain, but the rain yet to show. Are we going to have a repeat of what I saw a few races ago, a race at France, where it suddenly decided to rain extremely heavily in the last 2 laps and everyone was flying off the road? I've seen it before here in Spa. We know how easy it can rain in Spa. But we've just got to wait. And still no signs of any water. The safety car in this lap. I do know there is a graphical glitch on Jacko's Halo. I have noticed that one. It is, well, glitching out with his watery thing. I've noticed that one. That's probably what I was noticing there, thinking it was potential of water. And it's Newgarden. He will lead them away then.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a very, very mixed up grid here. When there's still over half the grid that still need to make their second stop, the second mandatory stop. So it's really going to shake up things. Newgarden is one of them, so he will not be at the front. We'll just have to see when
Let's
he
get ready
goes.
to go. He's waiting, waiting. And
Waited
Leroy's
the
jumped
line.
in a little bit early there, I think. Leroy, has he jumped in a bit early as everyone goes through turn 1? Yellow flags flying in the back as someone's gone off as everyone slots him through the front. Is it Kyle who's dropped to the back? Someone's dropped out of trouble.
Kyle slowed down and let everyone past him.
Newgarden then leads the race then from Yuri as everyone slots themselves up our route for the 19th of 22 times. Here is Leroy to the inside. They almost touch. They almost touch. Late on the brakes. Is it too late? He gets it stopped there. Jacko and Excite coming nearly together. But this here, lap 19 of 22, when do they stop? Are they going to stop? Are they going to wait for the rain to come down?
I'd go for another set of softs here. Even if it starts raining on the last lap, I really don't think there'll be enough.
Here comes
But look at King and Go. He's gone for the move down the inside. Contact. Very close to contact there, but King and got the move done. Now Kyle has got past Niels and Yuri well. He's 5 seconds back. I think it may have been the wrong strategy call for him. He needed it to start raining as soon as he got into the pits.
Oh, it's not worked. A bit of a twitch there from Excite as he now chases down Newgarden to the inside line then. Up towards Blanchimont. This is going to be a bit more of an easier move than we've seen before as they slot themselves through. A little bit wide though from Excite. Gets a bit twitchy on the rear end. Jess indecisive. Coming Babbo all together as well as onto the brakes. Are we seeing everyone dive into the pit then? In comes Excite. They've all got to come in. They've all got to come in. There's nothing they can do.
Pit.
And now, look at the rain! Look at the rain!
Oh.
It's raining here in Spa, and surely everyone, chuck the inters on! Chuck the inters on! You've got chance, do it now! Have they got the opportunity? Inters for Jess!
That? That's Leroy. No, that's Yuri. Yuri spun at the bus stop.
As there, look at Coleman again! Making the same move on Indecisive at El Rouge! Again, for the second time, he's done the same move, and... do it once, shame on you. Do it twice,
Jacko.
Good on you, my sunshine. What a lovely little move.
Jacko's on the soft tyres.
Jess on the intermediate to risk then. It's raining, and remember, it only takes 3 laps for the wet to come down sometimes. It depends how heavy it comes down. This could be a very audacious strategy. Though passing there, we've got potential as Jacko sliding around. This could be a very good strategy here from Yuri and Jess, if it comes down. And remember, it needs to come down very heavily, very quickly. Meanwhile, Neil's battling with Indecisive.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what's going to happen, but it definitely looks like it's still dry. It definitely looks like it's still dry tyres for here, but Leroy still has to pit. He has to come in. I'm not sure what he's going to do, but he has to come in. The same with Kingen, I believe. Yeah.
Jake can stay out, of course. He's got the opportunity to do so. And, I mean, why not right now? I mean, he'll lead this race by a comfortable margin. He's got Kyle, but... well, he's
staying out.
Kingen's
staying out.
This is
Jake is
risky.
staying out.
Lap 21. They've got to stop this lap. In comes Newgarden. They've got to stop at the end of this lap, so they've got to hope it chucks it down right now, otherwise they are going to be in trouble, and then they've got to hope it doesn't chuck it down the last lap. Meanwhile, here comes Yuri battling with Jess! Oh, that's so close between those two, as Jess, I think, decides, I'm not going to fight that one, sunshine, I'm going to live to fight another day, as out they come, both on sets of soft tyres. This has been a bold strategy, and look, it's actually getting wet. It is really getting wet out here now. It is definitely, you can see a sheen on the circuit. I think these guys might be lucky here. I will not be surprised to see Jake staying out on these tyres. As yellow flags is Jacko. He is now out here in Belgium, and that really shows all you need to know about these conditions.
Yeah, there's not going to be a safety car, a virtual safety car, seeing as it is the penultimate lap. But it's just going to be too dry as Leroy nearly loses it through Pouon.
It's wet. It's wet. It's really starting to rain here now, here in Belgium. But what does Jake do? What does Jake do now? As yellow flags, there's another one. There is another one. It's Nils. Nils now off the road. As Kaya comes through and takes a position, it is bucketing down here in Belgium. And we've seen it before. I mentioned it before. How easy the weather can change. And it has changed. As another one. And there is Kyle now out of the race. And well, we believe he was going to do it again. But now another one off. And it's pouring it down. It's pouring it down here in Belgium. As now Hasselager in. In comes King and Jake's got to come in, surely. Surely he's got to come in. No, he's staying out. He's going to stay out and risk it on the inters. On the dry tyres. Everyone's going in for the inters. He's safe. He can go to the end. There's a tyre in the middle of the road. Camo Babo stays out. He is safe as well, we believe.
Yeah, only one person now needs to pit, and it's Excite.
What do you do?
Excite doesn't pit.
And that's a 30-second time penalty. DRS has been disabled, but look, now it is full intermediate conditions. Here in Belgium is Leroy and Kingen on a very good strategy here with one lap to go. Your race leader has their trouble at turn number 1. Someone's dropped it. It's that Excite. Dropped it at turn 1. It is Excite.
I don't think Leroy is gaining enough. I don't think he's gaining enough to catch him.
He might not be, but these two just trying to keep it on the island. Try and get it through. They've got to be gentle on the throttle here in these capitulations. Puon, one of the corners. Jake, half a lap away from victory here in Spa. He's driven so well. He's now on the wrong tyres. He's got cars bearing on them. They're 10 seconds behind. He's got to just nurse it now. As gentle on the throttle as you like. And he's now got 1 second to do. He's got the difficult bit here to come through. As long as he gets through this bit and the next bit sorted, he should be okay. But can he get it then? He comes through. Stavilo 2. My yellow flag is coming. Babo now out. And another one who's had a mistake and we're dropping them like flies. But Jake, all he has to do is take it gently, which he does. He's got 2 corners left. He has the bus stop to do. Through he comes, into the right, but he goes so deep. Can he get it stopped? Yes, he can. Yuri's off. Here comes Jake. He just about can get it on the road. And we've got a pile up. We have a pile up in the middle of the pack. They're another one off, but Jake wins. Leroy in second, King in third. Neil's fourth. Indecisive is going to finish in 6th. Jess in 7th as long as they finish. But what incredible race!
Yeah, very, very good recovery from Newgarden here. Such an incredible recovery from him, starting
10 seconds for Nils. 10 seconds for Nils. He's going to be 5th as long as he doesn't do that. Come on, keep it on the road. Get the power down gently, Sunshine. Come on, Indecisive. Come on. He does it. 5th. Will it stay there? No, Jess gets it. Indecisive in 6th. What a drive from Indecisive. Excite there in 7th. Nils in 8th. Yuri across the line. He's going to be ejected and he's in the wall in 9th.
That was an incredible race. Newgarden driver of the day in game. But of course, Excite, he only made 1 mandatory stop, I believe. So he will be getting a 30-second time penalty. I believe he finished. Well, yeah, what an incredible race that was. It was just...
What incredible race.
From our perspective, it was just nothing better than that. All the carnage, all of the drama on the last lap. That's what you want in a Formula 1 race.
Wow, we've got to give it to 4 drivers. I know who my 2 is. That will be... I'm not allowed to give it to Jazz. I want to give it to Jazz because he's doing well. It's Jake. He's got to get the driver of the day from me. Indecisive as well. It's got to be my driver of the day there as well for my 2. He has driven beautifully.
I've got to say, Newgarden definitely won, starting at the back and finishing P4. I'm going to say Leroy as well. The choice is Leroy and Newgarden.
Indeed, so there is your 4 driver of the days then. And that is Jake, Indecisive, Leroy, and was it Newgarden as well? Your 2?
Yeah.
Indeed. So, thank you very much for joining us here in Belgium. We're in this topsy-turvy race. I've been Evil. Thank you very much, King, for joining me on our road of commentators. Hopefully we'll see you again in the future. But, until next time here from the Kia series, take care and goodbye.